Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie Part 1. It is Sunday, January 26, 2025, and Mom and I have some really fun cards to share with you this week. We hope that you are inspired by the fun folds that we share, and even though we're both using the same product, I think you could take these ideas and use whatever you have at home to duplicate them. Let's turn the camera around to the desktop and get started. All right, I'm so excited today to share some products that are in both the January through April mini catalog and Sale-a-Bration, and I bet you can guess what those products are. One of my favorite Sale-a-Bration gift options, free gifts with a $60 purchase during Sale-a-Bration, which ends February 28th, is the Toadstool Gardens Designer Paper. This is a 6x6 paper pack. It includes 6 different patterns and you get 8 of each sheet. So we've got these awesome toadstools, mushrooms, whatever you want to call them, in the bright colors that are so much fun, including Melon Mambo. We got some bubble bath in there, fresh freesia, granny apple green, pumpkin pie, some gray granite, early espresso, really fun kind of funky patterns, a lot of great B-side patterns in there too. And I have to say that the only reason I got the coordinating bundle was because of the cute designer paper. Isn't that always the case though? The first time I saw the Terrific Toadstool Bundle, I was like, okay. I know my daughters are really into like mushrooms, and they're not into mushrooms like that. But like it's a really trendy kind of thing. And I love that there's a coordinating punch. You know, we are suckers for punch bundles. And yep. So this one is an awesome one. But the cake on top was that it has coordinating designer paper. So you can get the designer paper alone, you can get the punch bundle alone, but I think you're just going to want them both. Oops, there's the stamp set. So fun. It's a photopolymer stamp set. And so before I get into my project too much, I want to share a little tip with you for aligning these up. And I forgot to clean my stamp, so it's inky. So I'm just going to describe to you what I did. And I'll use another stamp here. So I took my stamps and I lined them up on the top of my punch, just like this. Actually, I did it the other way around, so the bottom was down, and I lined them up over the images, and then I took my block and I put them on the block like that and peeled, well, it peeled better because they were bigger, but that's how I line them up on the same block so I can stamp at the same time and punch at the same time. So there's my little tip for the punch. So the punch does fit the 2 larger mushroom caps, and then this I guess kind of fits, but this is a lot skinnier. And we were talking about it a little bit on your video, Mom, in part 2. The stamp images, generally both of these are a little bit larger than the punch, which I like because then the image goes all the way to the edge of the cardstock. So let me show you what I mean with that. So we are going to be punching these both with Melon Mambo ink. And so I'm going to stamp on my basic white cardstock. And then take the punch and line them both up. Look at that, both at the same time. Whammy. And so you can see on the leftover cardstock a little bit of pink all the way around the edges. So it almost fits both images, but it does cut some off, but it works out perfectly if you want to pop up your element. So let's get out the other pieces of my card. I'm really excited about this card. I was inspired by a card that I received from my stamping friend Masako, and she has a little pop-up like this inside, and I have done one of these a long time ago. I love that it's like the whole card base. The one that I did was inside the card, and so that's how I'm going to show it to you today. So for that pop-up piece, I have a piece of white cardstock. This is just regular basic white cardstock, and it is 8 inches across and 5 1/4. So it's like, if you fold it in half, it's like the 4 by 5 a quarter that we typically do on a card front. And I made some pencil marks on here. So I went 1.5 inches from the edge where it opens and 2 inches from the bottom. And then I made a little line from one end to the other. So 1.5 from the right side, 2 inches from the bottom. And then I like doing it with the, basic white cardstock, the regular, because it is, it's a thinner cardstock, so it's easier to fold. And I think that folding it by hand is easier than trying to line it up and get score lines in the paper trimmer. Now, I did do a version of this card where I used thick white for the card base, and it was driving me crazy because it just wasn't lined up like this, and it was kind of off, and I'm a little bit anal like that, so that wasn't working for me. So I'm just gonna fold it both directions, and then when I open it up, I'm gonna kind of fold it so that it comes in. And you can use your bone folder to get nice good creases.
That's very clever, Julie.
So this is going to be then the inside of the card, and you can erase your pencil marks, but it's going to be glued to the inside of the card, so you won't see it. Pop. Well, the pop-up goes so perfectly with the sentiment, popping up to say hi. I think that this stamp set and that sentiment like just makes everybody want to make pop-up cards. And so that's a little bitty clue. You are definitely going to want to tune in for part 2 of Sunday Stamping, because Mom is going to share a really awesome card design with you that has another kind of pop-up element to it that you're going to love. It's true.
Yeah, it's a little on the tricky side and fussy side.
But it's so worth it.
And I appreciated your help.
I'm going to do a little more stamping on the inside, stamping the little hill with Granny Apple Green. I'm also going to bring in some pumpkin pie and gray granite. And for the bottom part down here, I'm going to add the stem. I'm also going to bring that scrap back in and stamp the medium stem, which I'm going to cut out. And bring in some pumpkin pie. There are multiple sizes and shapes of the little, oh, do you see?
Oh,
I got some ink on
the Susan.
Oh, I need my ink eraser, which is helping to prop up my phone. I'll bring it right back, Mom.
You can send that one to me. I don't care.
No, I love these little sand erasers. Essentially, they just sand off like the fiber of the cardstock and then take, oh my gosh, I just transferred again. They take off that ink really well.
Hands, get a wipe or something on your hands.
I know. I just washed my hands too. I have some sanitizer on my table for this purpose because it helps to take off ink really well. So I think I've neutralized it. All right, let me get the sand eraser back under the phone to tilt you back up here. Oh, our little hacks as we film together.
Yep.
Oh, so I'm just gonna fussy cut really quick this other little stem, and this is going to go on our little pop-up. I have a 2 3/8 inch circle that I punched from this leafy pattern. And so I am going to, nope, not that one, this one, I'm going to glue these down. On the circle. I like having the stem be on top because it kind of looks like it is
Yeah.
coming like right into the center of the mushroom. And then this is going to go right here. So that's going to be kind of our pop-up element. You've got to be careful because you don't want to put adhesive on the top. So we are going only on the bottom of the circle. Put that right in there. And so when you close it, pop up.
I love that.
Make sure there's nothing sticky there. All right, let's glue this down to the inside of our card, and then we'll decorate the front. Whenever you're gluing these extra pieces in, you want to make sure that you're inside of the fold line so that you don't interfere with the regular folding of the card. So I'm just kind of centering it. Then I'll add some adhesive here. And close the card. Thank you. For the front, I have some more pieces of designer paper, and I was playing around with layouts, and I ended up doing a layout I just always come back to, but I love it. It's easy. We got a 3x3 piece of designer paper with a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 layer, Granny Apple Green, and then 1 3/4 by 5 1/2 striped designer paper. It's going to go across the center. I have a circle I'm going to do a little stamping on, and the sentiment is going to go right there. So let's finish up our stamping, and then we can finish gluing our card together. For this one, I'm going to bring back the same mushrooms that I used inside. So I'm going to do the stem in gray granite. I'm going to do the smaller mushrooms with pumpkin pie. And then I have this one that's going to go there with a dimensional. And for our sentiment, I'm going to do "You Are Magical" in Early Espresso. I'll just trim that down just a smidgy. This is about 5/8 inch wide. And then this green glitter paper is 1/2 inch wide. And sometimes I like to do the stamping and then just trim it down to be the exact length that I need. Now, if this paper doesn't look familiar, I just want to point out that it is from the Festive Glimmer paper, which was around in the Holiday Mini Catalog. It has like a garden green, real red, and Granny Apple green. And this did carry over. So the red is going to be so perfect for Valentine's Day, the greens for St. Patrick's Day, or just adding a little accent like this. And with the green in this designer paper, it's a perfect little fit to just add a little bling bling to your card. So don't forget to get out those Christmas specialty papers and use them.
I always forget about them.
I know, right? Sometimes we just put all the Christmas away, and it's easy to forget that we have such versatile papers. I kind of like to do that at Christmas time too. Like after Christmas, I go and I get all the like red and green candy, and I save the reds for Valentine's Day. And then I didn't really do anything for St. Patrick's Day, but the greens could be saved for St. Patrick's Day, or they could just be enjoyed on a Tuesday. Dimensionals to put the circle on the layered cardstock and designer paper. I'm going to add the designer paper across the center. And, oops, do regular adhesive to add this down too. Little seal to add that to the glitter paper. And then a couple dimensionals to stick this onto the card. I need to just move that over a smidge because it overlaps the circle. You are magical.
Oh, I love that.
I gotta add some bling though. I mean, the glitter paper is a little bit of bling, but we need more than that.
Oh, yes, Julie, we do.
I'm gonna bring in some of the purple adhesive back sequins. These are another Sale-a-Bration gift item. And I got my, let me bring my book over here. I think that these other things kind of get lost here in the bottom, and so I just want to point them out. There is the Starstruck embossing folder, the Fresh Freesia seam binding, and the purple adhesive sequins. I think sometimes we so focus on the sides that we miss out on those extra things in the middle. This is one of my favorite gifts because I just love these sequins. They're so easy and blingy. They may not be as high value as some of the other Sale-a-Bration gifts, but it's definitely something that I probably would use more than everything else. So, Mom, what color should we use for this card?
Ooh. Where are they going? Do you know?
I think I'm going to do 1, 2, 3.
Okay. I don't know how the white would look, just for a little contrast, but...
I was leaning towards the white.
Yeah, let's do the white. I think the white would work best.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do a large one and a small one, and then a large one down there.
Okay. Oh, cute. Oh, Julie, I'm going to case this for sure.
Oh, good. I'm so happy that you like
Hey,
it.
Hostess Club ladies, what do you think of that layout for next month?
It is so much fun, and I think pretty easy to do the cute little pop-up inside. You could do some scoring on the paper trimmer if you wanted to and kind of be fancy, but like I said, I do think that it's a little bit easier to get it even if you do folding by hand. I have a few more cards to share with you. Most of them are swabs, but this definitely is a popular combination. It's the Toadstool Gardens Designer Paper and the Terrific Toadstools Bundle. So here's a card I made. I used 1/2-inch strips of the designer paper, a little bit of the seam binding, and some of the sequins as well. And I love that little ladybug. You're going to see Mom stamp the ladybug. I used Pretty in Pink and Melon Mambo to create mine, and then some Fresh Freesia with the Melon Mambo for the mushrooms. And here's another one that I did. I used the birchwood embossing folder. I thought it kind of looked like the texture on a mushroom. Like, I don't know what you would call that. It's not really like veins, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it has sometimes like this, like that mushroom texture. Here's another really simple card I did. This is, I think, 1.5 by 4-inch strips. And then that same little bit that was the top for the ladybug can also be the top for a small little mushroom. Here is a swap card from Kay Kaltoff. And she used the small little mushroom from the punch to stamp the sentiment. Just a little thank you. This one is from Betsy Kreider. She's got gray granite as the card base. I think it really pops. It's so pretty. This one is from Angie Leach. I just can't get enough of these bright colors. These are different colors. This one's from Jan-Apr Blaschek, and she used some of the gingham from the Floral Delight designer paper. I kind of really dig these like darker colors. Well, I guess it's just the darker green because we still have the pumpkin pie and melon mambo. Here's one that focuses on the designer paper. This one is from Marnie Stahl. She also used that Starstruck. Is that what that's called? The embossing folder?
Yeah. Yes.
And then a couple fun folds. This one is from Ruth Bingle. We've done cards like that on Sunday Stamping before that kind of folds out, but I love that it just showcases a lot of different paper from the Toadstool Gardens. And then this one is from Sandy Jacobson, and it's a Z fold that has a little pop-up with a little simple kind of pop-up square back there. So many fun options, and Mom, I really love the cards that you've created to share with us. So I think it's about time we head over to your channel to see part 2 of Sunday Stamping.
All right, see y'all in a few.
If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future Sunday Stamping and paper crafting videos. Thank you so much for watching, and Mom, thanks so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the chat on her video.
All right.
Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.